No time like the present. And the president is now, President's Day. I am going to go on my phone here, go on live Facebook. Maybe I can get one or two people on there I can say thank you to. The other day was Valentine's Day. Every day should be Valentine's Day. There's too much hate in this world, too much negativity, way too much. I know I get too much. I know people that share my story get way too much, entirely too much. It's a wonderful day to say, hey, buddy, thank you so much for your love and your kindness and your comments. Nothing like waking up in the morning and getting a comment right off the bat. I wonder how much money this guy's making for this hogwash story. Well, if you want to make a negative comment on my page, guess what? You'll hear about it. I have no problem because it's all about the truth. No sugarcoating shit around here. None. And I tell you what, I have made some money compared to what I was doing 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was pulling a wagon around Bullhead City, Arizona, going to the food bank, going to the grocery store, very ill, heart failure, diabetes, all kind of shit wrong with me, pulling my wagon, looking on the ground. You get so hungry, basically. You look on the ground for a dollar bill, for a quarter, for a penny. And I used to play games. I used to walk around and check the machines, the change machines, go to, there's a water machine just about on every corner here in Arizona because the water sucks. So you buy it by the gallon and people drop their change. And it's a habit when you don't have any money to go searching. And that was me 2 years ago. And since I've been sharing my story for quite a few years, but that was my life a couple of years ago. And I invited you guys in on a video to my home the other day, and I've been sharing. My life is a whole lot better. It really is. I'm making a couple bucks on my books. Yes, I am. I really am. It's not enough to pay my bills. It really isn't. I struggle each and every month, but I always find some money, and people gift me a little money here and there, and I buy more books. This month, I bought $700 worth of books. I bought a few $100 worth of Stolen Identity books, and I bought $500 worth of The Historian Tale. Just came out, people. It just came out. It is on lulu.com, and my face is right on the front cover. And what am I exposing? The return of the real John Kennedy Jr. That's me. It's President's Day. Happy day to you all. But seriously, we got enough damn holidays. We really, really do. Thank you so much, Robert. It is going to unfold. We are working hard to make it unfold. I want to go live on Facebook also. Please share my story. Let's get it out there. I'm the real John Kennedy Jr. My father was the president of the United States. They assassinated my father. Why? Because they wanted his money and they wanted his power. It was the takeover of the Kennedy family. No Kennedy curse, none. It's called a mafia war, a war at the top. What these people do, they unalive people and steal from people. That's what they do. They got the power to do it. They got the power, and they got the United States government to help cover it up for them. I won't sugarcoat it. Let's see here. I want to go live. What do I want to say on Facebook? And to that person that left that wonderful comment, wanting to try to get into my pocket and see how much money I have made making a comment. How much money has this con artist made? This spouting up all this hogwash. Well, guess what? I haven't made enough to get my top teeth yet. And my father was president of the United States. Think about that one nice and hard. Okay. It said my live broadcast had ended. I don't want my live broadcast to end. I want to make a live on Facebook. Go live. Let's try this again. 1, 2. I'm live on Facebook. I'm just going to set my phone right here next to me on the computer. I was on food stamps a couple years ago. And I'm only going off on this because somebody made a comment like I'm really fucking getting rich on what I'm doing. It has nothing to do with money for me. I would like a better life. Yes, I would like teeth in my head. But that's not what I'm all about. I was on food stamps because I was ill and I had a government phone, a paid phone. So I was trying to make videos. I was making, I thought I was dying. So I was going on Facebook, making video after video after video, sharing my life story. So when I ended up unalive, people could go back and see my stories because it's all about trying to help. Is that the kitty at the door scratching? I'm going to let my kitty in, people. Stick around. Oh. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining me on this day. Thank you so much for all the wonderful comments. Yeah, my story is crazy, but that's what I am exposing. These people at the top are the biggest crime ring. They're huge. They don't care about unaliving people. They don't care about unaliving children. They have a secret society going on, and they like their power at the top because you think about how much power they got. They got the power of everything. The money, the system, you have to pay your taxes. And, I'm exposing all the corruption at the top. And what really gets me sometimes is the praise. I always say this, and some people leave the live when I say this, because you got Biden, and, everybody can see he's a dumbass. It's not his fault. They make him look like a dumbass. He shouldn't have been president in the first place, but they made him president in the first place. Who do I say they? Our Secret Service. But then you got Donald Trump, and everybody's praising Donald Trump. Everybody thinks Donald Trump's going to save the world. He's doing his job. What they want him to do. The Secret Service runs the show, people. I'm a personal eyewitness to this. Your vote does not matter. Our government will pay people, all these celebrities, to say, but go vote, go out and vote. Your vote matters, because it does not matter. Organized crime is so huge within our government. They run fucking everything. Everything. So your vote does not matter because the person you're voting for, they already selected for you. Just like people say, they are selected, not elected. And I'm a personal eyewitness to this. If they don't like your, look at my father. If they don't like your agenda, the people put my father in place, they didn't like his agenda. I'm exposing the JFK files because I lived it. I shared some live videos right here on YouTube. And I explained how our very own Secret Service had me and George Onassis, the man that stole my identity, he was just a child then, but they had him commit an unalive at a very young age. We were around 10 years old when the switch was made. So all the photos are of me up until the age of 10, all of them. Then my straight hair went curly black. That hair right there, look at the bald spot I got going on here. If you look at the childhood photos and you look at me, and AI is what they can do with the technology they have. You can get my kid picture and put it in a CapCut app, and you will see this ugly mug right here. I invite you to do that. I really, really do. And thank you, Lions. Thank you, Brenda. You are so wonderful. I was just reading a comment on Facebook here. Someone said they got this book, Stolen Identity, and they're reading this book now, The Historian Tale. This just came out last week. I started giving away copies last week. People started sending me some money for this book. Mary Maxwell signed it, and I signed it, and I've been sending them out. I just got a message from Henry. I love my brother Henry. He's awesome. I love you, Lions, that share this story. And anyway, this person on Facebook said they're making hundreds of copies because they don't want you to know what's in these books. I've been hindered, blocked, shadow banned, taken down off of my platforms. Last week, well, a few months ago, I had 45,000 followers on TikTok. I was getting too big. My story was coming out, the truth. People were starting to know the truth. So they would just remove my account. No appeal, no nothing. I was on there doing a live. They just took me off. Said, screw you. They owed me money. They owe me money now. I paid them money for advertising. They did not advertise, but they took my money and removed my account. So I made another account. And last week I was doing a live right here on YouTube and TikTok, and they removed my live. Again, they removed my live and they removed my platform. They don't want the truth out. They don't want you to know the truth because we're right over the target. And so now I'm going live on Facebook and right here on YouTube. Well, see, here's the deal about my father and how he was killed by these people within our government. I don't care if the driver shot him. I don't care if it was the guy in the street drain that shot him. I don't care if it was the guy over the fence that shot him. I don't care if it was the guy on the grassy knoll that shot him. And I don't care if it was the guy up in the freaking library that shot him. I don't. I've seen my father's head go boom a million fucking times. The fact is, I lost my father when I had just turned 3 years old. And I'm not trying to bash your comment, but I don't, that's not what I'm saying. My father was going to die that day, whether all those people were there. And he was going to die where the whole world could see him. Because identity theft is huge. They wanted it public. Just like they wanted my uncle's death public. They're that powerful. But here's the thing. When you got people protecting you that are the bad guys, like our Secret Service, it's a no-win. So RFK was actually probably getting a blessing when they would not give him protection. But that's a whole nother story. But I'm explaining how they do what they do. You know, when you become president of the United States, you say, yeah, I want Secret Service protection. Then everything you do, you are told what to do by the Secret Service. Your vote does not matter. They're the ones behind the scenes making the changes. It's organized crime at the highest level. It's not too hard to figure out. But anyway, they wanted my father gone because my father wanted to do good. He wanted to eliminate the organized crime within our government. And it's huge, people. From the FBI to our Secret Service to our CIA, it's freaking huge. From Hollywood to the music industry to, sporting events to, Las Vegas and the casinos and the Indian casinos. Organized crime has their fingers in it all. Straight up. Our social media, our mainstream media is a regime. They only put in what they want you to know as programming. Good example is that if you ever hear a song, and you hear that song in your head playing over and over again. It happens to me all the time. And it's programming, people. That's how they make their money. Everybody's out to sell you something. They really, really are. And I don't hold no, everybody says, how can I make a buck? Everybody. If you're not, you're poor, but you'll be poor like I was, still looking for that quarter or that change on the ground to pick up. So it's natural for everyone to say, hey, what's going to help make my life better and better? And hopefully my life will get a lot better so I don't have to worry about how I can pay my bills come the first, or if I have a bill 2 days before the first. And me sharing my story is costing me a lot of money, people. It really is. Trying to get my story out is costing me more money. Because if I didn't have the internet and have the internet bills and have to worry about security and trying to, it's freaking huge. But yeah, when you first wake up and you get a comment that says hogwash, fuck them. That's what Robin just said. And that's exactly how I feel. I'm on here trying. New Gaga song. Abracadabra. Turn that shit off. I really liked Lady Gaga myself. They're all MK Ultra people. They really, really are. They are all run by the cabal. And like I just said, they are all run that way. They're slaves to the government. The government thinks they own these people. And a lot of them don't write their own music. But I don't think I've heard that abracadabra. I remember the one, abracadabra. Gonna reach out and grab you. I remember that one. I might have to listen to that one just to hear what it's all about. But you're not gonna, yeah. But we love you, Dizzy. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we do.
Dizzy on here, it's a hit right now. Dizzy right on here. If you go to see her in the comments, she got stolen identity. She spent a whole lot of time, a whole lot of effort reading this book to you. There's a lot of people that said, hey, do you have this book on audio? My eyesight's bad or whatever. Get somebody to help you. Go to Dizzy's page and you can just click on chapter after chapter after chapter of this, and it doesn't cost you anything. And a lot of wonderful people like her. A lot of beautiful people like her are helping get the truth out. They really, really are. And it's so much appreciated. I've been waiting. I'm expecting 20 copies of this to come today. It must be coming FedEx or UPS or something like that, because in the notifications it said my books are on the way, which is awesome because the Postal Service ain't running today. But tomorrow I'm expecting 50 copies of this one. The beautiful Mary Maxwell spent like $1,100 on the first printing of these, which is cool. You can get these now on Lulu. And if you want to message me, I'm getting 50 copies to sign. Mary also signed them. And it all helps get the truth out. And what is the truth? Truth is we're lied to, people. We are so lied to. Yeah, they are all, I don't know how they know so much, but I spent so many years meeting all these people. So many years. Um, Gosh, I met so many people. And it's almost like a game to these people. It really, really is. Um, all the way from Sticks, Come Sail Away. I sat on the piano bench while he sang that song. And I met so many musicians. It's huge. And I love that song. I was under MK Ultra, but come sail away, come sail away. And AC/DC. If you have ever heard on the Ball Breaker, everybody loves AC/DC. How could you not love AC/DC? Well, if you're not into the loud rock and roll, but on the Ball Breakers album of AC/DC, All Hail Caesar, the All Hail Caesar song, that's got John Kennedy all over it. It really does. Because they spent hours, just like they spent hours having me do the salute. That famous picture, it's a photo op. That was a photo op. When my father's casket went by, I was nudged in the back to do that. So it was for a photo op, straight up. It's so huge. But AC/DC Ball Breakers album, All Hail Caesar. On the studio version, I got to sing a few lyrics in that song. And what was that song about? That song was about John Kennedy Jr. That song was about our Senate. If you listen to that song, please feel free. Around and around we go. The senators rehearse the tale. All hail Caesar. Bum, 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 bum. All hail Caesar. Yeah, John Kennedy Jr. And what were they rehearsing? The senators. Should we bring John Kennedy Jr. out and expose the government for all the crimes? How many votes do you think John Kennedy Jr. got in the Senate of no? We don't want the world to know that we are a criminal organization, that we're all on the take, that it is all fixed, that we unalived his father, that we unalived his mother, his sister, his family, so we could take power of our government. Thank you, Brenda. Say his name, John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. Well, you got a very big brain that sucks up a lot of information. It's not going to hurt you to know the truth. It's not going to hurt you that we are all puppets, and we're puppets to the administration, and they lie, they deceive, and it's all for their profit. That's what they do. I say we get rid of them. I say we kick them all to the curb, each and every one, all politicians, all of them. They're no good for us, people. We need a new system put in place. Our forefathers gave us a system and allowed our system to be replaced. Why? Because they knew the corruption could take over. And it has. And we do nothing about it. Everybody knows. Everybody you meet on the street says, yeah, our government's all fucked up. They're so corrupt. But what are we doing about it? We're allowing it to happen. Year after year after year, we allow it to happen. I tell you what, the wars have been started for a lot less of what we're going through right now. you know, us between England and everything else. My computer's being just flashed for some crazy reason. Maybe it's because I'm getting on a hot topic here. The Tea Party, where we just said we had they had a fake Tea Party where somebody was not going to do anything about it. We even had a civil war, people, with great loss on both sides. Our country was torn in half. It really, really was. Some people will say it was because of this. Some people will say it was because of that. But our Civil War was very, very tragic. It really was. But what are we going to do? What is the best way to get rid of criminals in our government? People say, how much money am I making? I'm exposing they unalived my whole family and stole billions of dollars from me, and I can't even afford bucket teeth. My last tooth is right here. And people are worried how much money I'm making. And I'm saying, hey, they stole all this from my loved ones, from my family. They stole my inheritance. They used identity theft, which is a crime. They gave me a fake birth certificate, which is a crime. They won't allow me to have my original birth certificate, which is a crime. These people won't talk to me at these agencies, which I consider as a crime. They use identity theft, people. Organized crime, to this day, it's their big moneymaker. I don't even know who's real at the top anymore. They put these billionaires that buy their way into the spotlight, buy their way onto mainstream media, billionaires. Politicians are put in place to do a job. And we get a politician in place that should just be doing his job, that doesn't do his job, but we praise him for the little bit that he's trying to fix from the last administration instead of standing up and getting some balls and fixing it. I would love, seriously, to have the power to say, let's fix the homeless problem. Let's do it. And guess what? We'd have it fixed in no time. Let's fix the problem of drugs coming across the border by the cartels. Tell you what, we'd have that fucking shit fixed right away. There's too many young people dying from drugs that they are profiting on, allowing them to come across our borders. Straight up. The immigration problem, we could solve that in no time too. You imagine how many people we could help in the United States if we stopped sending all these billions of dollars to other countries so the organized crime could share all that money for wars? It's huge. And we're allowing it to happen. We're allowing them to spend millions of dollars to test a duck heart and weird shit like that, to test cows, to see, if the gases are going to affect us in the long run. Millions of dollars. Thank you, dear. His medicine's under the thingy, I think they're. Okay. But yeah, there's so many problems that we could fix in no time. But why don't they want it fixed? Because they're making too much freaking money themselves. So they can get up there in the media, the mainstream media, and get praised for something that they're not doing. And that's fixing the country for Americans. I love that movie. I met Clint Eastwood several times. I met a lot of people in Hollywood several times. They stole my Hollywood career. The things they will do to you under MK Ultra. Matter of fact, Robin, Jody sent us that little memory stick thing.
Yeah, it's on the desk there.
Okay, well, she said we could probably plug it into the TV and get all my movies that I did when I was a child.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's usually
So yeah, I wanted to tell you
yeah.
to have you find it.
That.
So what they steal from you is huge. I'm really bad with names. I'm not sure who David Feldman is real. Yeah, I'm not sure. Chris Hodges is real. I'm really bad with names, and I don't know who you guys are talking about. I don't watch the news because it's all bullshit. Um, even the local news. I turn on the local news, and it seems like every day somebody's run over in the street in Las Vegas. Blah blah blah. It's not uplifting. It's always negative. They're always bashing somebody. This party sucks. That party sucks. This person's doing that. This person's an idiot. Blah 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 blah. And it's not what I need for my life to manifest and share love and all that. Um, well, I got a few viewers on here. Our Secret Service. I have dealt with the Secret Service my whole entire life. I'm exposing what they do. That's why I wrote a couple books. That's why I come on here sharing my stories. Spouting your vote does not matter all the time. But before I get into that, stolen identity. If you have purchased this book, if you've never heard of this book, if you've never heard of my story, Stolen Identity, Unveiling the Real John Kennedy Jr. by John Kennedy Jr. It is on Amazon. We are gaining reviews. We're almost up to 500 reviews. And if you read 90% of them, you will see the truth. The other 10%, the 90%, 10% rule, you'll see people that have no clue, or they do have a clue and they don't want this story out. But a lot of wonderful reviews. Please read them. If please put a review on there if you purchase the book. But yeah, please check it out on Amazon. It's also on Barnes and Nobles if you don't do Amazon. Mary Maxwell told me today this book right here was on Barnes and Noble. I looked it up. I cannot find it. Maybe you can find it. I Googled this. This just came out last week. It's hot off the press. The historian tale, The Amazing Return of President Kennedy's Son. I Googled this. It's on Google. It is on Google. And it's on Google thanks to you lions. Because you made a video or you shared it on X, you shared it on Telegram or TikTok, but it's actually searchable now. And I thank you all. That it's not because of me, it's because of you. But it's on lulu.com. You can purchase this. It's 1963. The beautiful Mary Maxwell, that's her on the back, that wrote this. She flew in from Boston to Bullhead City, Arizona to come see me, interview me. And we did several interviews. She asked me all kinds of questions, and I don't have a problem answering those questions. And I asked her, how about a book, Mary? And she called me 2 weeks later and said, are you serious about me writing you a book for you? And I said, yeah. She said, good, because I've been working on it for 2 weeks already. Beautiful soul. So please help me get this searchable. If you got a search engine, search this. Let's get him working. But yeah, she came up with the price, $19.63, the year my father was assassinated. The year I did the salute. So yeah, it is on lulu.com. And it is so appreciated by me that the story gets out, the truth gets out. those god awful Quigleys, and I ran away. Well, if you escaped the Quigleys, more power to you. The Quigleys raised me. The Quigleys belong to a secret organization within our government called our Secret Service. It is brutal. It is hardcore. They do it to steal money. They do it to steal power. It is a secret organization. If you say you are in that organization or let people know, they will unalive you. It is that secret. And it is no secret they will unalive you. And I'm a personal eyewitness to the things in mind games that they can do. It is huge. They set my whole life up. They unalive people around me. They gave me an involuntary vasectomy so I could not have children, so I could not spread my bloodline, because they weren't sure all the money from the Kennedys was going to come to me or not, so they could steal it. What they do is horrendous. It really, really is. But they are so many. So many have sold their soul to the devil to get power and money, to not have to worry about paying their bills and every other thing, because they are working with the devil, Hollywood, and our government, and they can have the power. It's huge. So yeah, if you ran away from the Quigleys, you keep running. You just keep running. I have not been in contact with them for a very long time. Strike three and they're out with me. They burned me over and over and over again. They really, really did, trying to take my life. They wanted me dead. When my son was born, they figured, if I was dead, everything would go to him, and they had him brainwashed, so they could have very easily took everything from him. That's how they work. They're evil, 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 evil. I hope Donald Trump has read my book. I hope he knows that I know he's just a Hollywood actor. Donald Trump was my cousin. Bobby was my cousin. It's all one big family that they took out. Ted Kennedy was my family. They took all these people out. They use identity theft. No Kennedy curse. So when I see a photo of the man you thought was John Kennedy Jr. with Caroline, with my mother, with Ted Kennedy, they put it out there. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, at the JFK Library. Robin, you think I could get some tea? I think there's some made up there. It just needs poured in a glass, but my throat's getting all raspy. Please share my video, people. I ramble sometimes, and well, speaking of identity theft, people can use all kinds of different names. When when I was young, okay, so they gave me an involuntary vasectomy. They chloroformed me during a church meeting. You imagine all these other kids, what they had to go through at the Quigley's church meetings when it's all about satanic taking money from people and doing whatever you have to do to take money from people. It's huge. So anyway, I'll try to make this short, but they chloroformed me during a church meeting. They threw me on a table. They had a doctor giving me a vasectomy on the kitchen table. There was a Secret Service agent there named Steve. Steve was a master of disguises. If you remember the cartoon with the two crows, Spy versus Spy. Our Secret Service, you don't know who they're fucking, and they're fucking everybody, and they're beating anybody they can. They have the power to change their name. 1 minute, Steve would look like a hippie. The next minute, he would look like Victor, all wearing white and driving freaking nice cars. And yeah, a master of disguises, working with former presidents and their first ladies. Victor would be sitting with, this is a Secret Service agent I am talking about. And this was at the time of my involuntary vasectomy. He was a master of disguises, Secret Service agent. 1 minute he could be sitting there doing some cocaine with some very poor individuals. And the next minute he would be sitting there with, what's a good example? Betty Ford. Y'all remember Betty Ford? Our former first lady. These people are at the top of what they do. So he was involved in the vasectomy. He would come over and we would talk. One day we were out and we were out front of some property I had when I was real young. I was trying to make that property really beautiful. And he said, "Why would you ever want money? Because they're just going to steal it all from you anyway." That was his exact words. That was a Secret Service agent telling me that. A couple days later, I was standing right about where we were that couple days prior, and somebody tried to execute me in my front yard while I was working in my front yard. The bullet whizzed by my head from an assassin off in the woods that I could not even see. I could get into all the stories and long stories. Double agent. I was put under MK Ultra hypnosis. I was at Steve Victor's house, whatever you want to call him. I don't even really know if that any of those were his real name. I was under MK Ultra. I was falling asleep. He pulled out a pocket watch and he's like, well, here's a good example. This guy was the smartest man I've ever met. Maybe not. I'm just saying that. I could have met a lot of smarter people, but this guy was a double agent for the Secret Service. What was his real name? I don't know. This man could go into the White House if he wanted to. He could walk into the FBI office. He could walk into a court of law and talk to a judge. He could do whatever he wanted to do. But he put me, 1 minute he is doing a vasectomy on me so I could not have children, so they could steal all the money. The next minute, he's got a pocket watch. And he's going like this. I'm falling asleep watching him do it. I was under MK Ultra. And he said, "I want you to be in the Secret Service." I was like, okay. He went in the other room and he came back in the living room and he had a reel-to-reel thing. And he turned it on so he could record what he was doing. He said, "Do you swear to uphold the law to the very best of your ability?" He went on and on, but he made me swear an oath that I would do what I had to do for the good of the United States of America. I said, basically before all this, I said, I don't want to be a Secret Service agent. I don't. I said, I got a child coming. I'm married. I'm trying to do this and that just to stay alive. But he said, well, you think about it. You can get justice for all the injustice. So anyway, he put me under hypnosis because he didn't want me remembering, because that's how they work. He didn't want me walking out the door and going to the grocery store and telling the checker, hey, guess what? I just got sworn into the secret fucking service. Isn't that cool? So this is how they work in secret at nighttime. So he set up his reel to reel. He got his pocket watch out and he put John Kennedy Jr. under hypnosis. Not you're getting sleepy, you're getting tired. But he was like, he was one of the best, the smartest guys I've ever seen. But he was like this with his pocket watch. He's like, look at my pocket watch. My granddaddy gave me this pocket watch. He said, by the way, you've been up for a few days. Aren't you getting sleepy? So then he put me under hypnosis. I still can remember. I still was there. But he walked in the other room and he got a reel to reel. I think he even had a Bible there. But he said, put your hand on the Bible. Put your hand up. You solemnly swear to uphold the law, do the best of what you can do for the United States of America, because shit's coming down and we need you. There's many enemies out there. We need to expose these people that are trying to take over the United States of America. That's what he told me. The same guy that gave me a vasectomy. Good and bad. I'm still trying to figure out why. So in his living room, I swore an oath to uphold the law. I swore into the secret service that night. But here's the thing. He did all this. And then he said, by the way, come over here and suck my dick. That's what he said. Straight up. Are you following me? Why would he even say that? Because he didn't want me to know or remember. He was a smart, very intelligent man. He just had me swear an oath to uphold the law to the best of my ability for our government, the United States of America. When he got done, he said, I want you to come over here and suck my dick. I woke up out of the half being asleep. I was like, fuck you. You got to be fucking me, right? Fucking with me. So I left. No, I didn't suck his dick. But I just told you a story that I can't figure out to this day. This man, Victor, Steve, George, he went by many different aliases. He took me to the FBI office one time, and he was big. Everybody was looking at him like he was the big deal. This man could speak, I think, 7 or 8 different languages. He was fluent in Spanish, French, Russian. He was a very intelligent man. So what was, you tell me after that story that I just told you, what was his motive for doing that? I don't know. I still can't figure it out. Was it to steal money? Or was it just to fuck with people? Just to get them so they were confused? I don't really know. I'm just sharing a story. Maybe you got some answers for me, but I've never been able to figure out it. I just told you I was sworn into the Secret Service by a Secret Service agent. But what was the... I know it got crazy after that. They used me like a worm on a hook to catch the bad guys. And I want you to remember, people, the United States of America is the prize. It is the big deal. There's a lot you don't know. There's a lot you shouldn't know. The United States is the big prize. Russia wants it. Russia wants all our money and power. China wants all our money and power. All these other countries want our power. And like I said, when my father was still alive, we would go to the White House. And I'll never forget this. We had to use the side entrance when we would go there. My mother would have a stack of nice little pretty presents, but we had to wait at the side door. And then we would go in and she would have to set all her presents on a little conveyor belt. And they were scanned. They were x-rayed. They were looked at under microscopes. Why? Because there is people out there with the power to make those prizes deadly. To, from anything from a little tiny razor blade on the edge of a gift with poison on it to a microphone so people know what you're doing, when you're doing, so they can get something on you. It's huge what they can do. And I'll never forget that. Because they explained it. I was only, not even 3 years old yet, but they were teaching me, they were showing me what goes on and how these people try to take the big prize of the United States of America. It is freaking huge. It's crazy at the top. It really, really is. And, well, hello, Happy Jalapeno. Yeah, with that said, I thank King Smarty so very much for all his wonderful support. He has done so much to help get this story out. King Smarty's awesome. And he has a website, smartyscorner.com. He has kingsmarty.tv. Made videos for my website. And here's the deal. He gifted me a whole lot of this beautiful pendants, and they have stolen identity on them. I wear this one all the time. It's a little dirty, but they clean up nice. And on the back, unveiling the real John Kennedy. And then it has source directives. King Smarty is the CEO of Source Directives. And they helped make me a website. So they gifted me these. They're on the website. They're for sale on the website. If you go to the real John F. Kennedy JR.com. If you're new to the story, go on there. There's a lot of articles and a lot of good things happening getting my story out. Thank you, Mojo. I appreciate that. And they help my life get better. Like I said, a couple of years ago, I was going around with my little wagon and looking for change on the street. So this helps me so I don't have to go around with my little wagon. I met Robin. She came into my life. She's helped me out greatly. Robin is wonderful to me. She's helping me get healthy and fat. I gotta quit getting fat. I'm gaining too much weight. I really am. But these are on the website. The real John F. Kennedy JR.com, and it helps so very much. We're trying to make a better place to live. I have a lot of bills now because I'm sharing more and more, trying to get the story out, and with that comes more bills. And I was lucky enough to get my disability for my heart failure and every other thing. But that doesn't even cover my bills. It really don't. I don't know how anybody can survive on $900 a month. I can't, something has to be done to fix our government. We pay in our whole life, and then, they make the laws to help us if we get sick, but then they're not really helping us. They're just giving us enough to survive. And some people aren't surviving. But thank you, Lions, so very, very much for all your support everything you do. Remember, this just came out. It's hot off the press. It is trying to get justice for me. Mary Maxwell signed these. And then I signed them. And if you look at my signature, still like I was a little freaking kid. Still hasn't changed. But yeah, you can tell the big forgeries and from the man that stole my identity. I'm trying to share about MK Ultra. I'm trying to share about child trafficking, child abuse, kidnapping, and basically my story from being in Hollywood, being kidnapped and used for extortion and every other thing. It was really horrendous what I had to go through. And nobody should have to, but there's a lot of victims. There's a lot of people like me that can't get the truth out, can't get the story out. So I told Mary, and she put it on this page. I don't know what you really call it on the front page. But she put my words to the lonely and the rebuffed, and to all who have been under. I was trying to explain MK Ultra to the world. And I always told people when I was under, it's like a hypnosis. It's a weapon of war. It really is to instruct. You know, you've heard of waterboarding and all these other things to get information from people. Well, MK Ultra is a tool for that. It is a huge tool. You can get a spy and put him under MK Ultra, and you can get so much information from him. And then when he wakes up the next morning, he will never remember he was interrogated. He will never remember he told all his secrets, and they will send him back to Russia or wherever. It is a weapon of war for doing just that. And I'm sharing how they do it because they used me over and over and over again. They taught me ever since I was a little kid. And with that said, before I end this, there's one memory I have, and it's a very vague memory, but it's still in my head. When you see my father, God bless my father. I lost my father when I was way too young. I wish I would have known him more. I really do. But my father would hold me up and throw me in the air. You will see many, many, many pictures of him throwing me up into the air. And I just want you all to know, each and every one, what I remember when he would do that. And he would say, John, you are going to be president of the United States someday. God bless you all. Thank you for watching my live video. Share my story. And have a wonderful holiday, people. God bless you all. Peace.